From Transformers Rise the Beast, this is the Beast Alliance Arcee and Wheeljack, also known as Pablo in the movie. So, these were essentially the mainline deluxes of these characters, but they were never given an individual release. Instead, they were packed alongside the Beast Battle Master figures. They were basically Target Masters that turn into Beast Mode, so you have Cheetor and Rhinox alongside them. Pretty cool figures. The Arcee in particular looks incredible, so I want to pop these guys open and actually give it a once-over. Taking a look at these two in vehicle mode first, and there's a couple of quibbles I could make. Overall, Arcee is a good motorcycle. I think especially given the price point here, it works, but you can see those are absolutely just her hands. I don't even mind the arms, it's just the fact that the hands are still there that's giving me an issue. But the colors are nice, and again, it's hard to do a motorcycle bot. Pablo, meanwhile, is a nicer looking vehicle mode, not a lot of paint on him aside from his windshield, but it is a solid enough van. The only issue is his transformation is just a touch too finicky for my liking. There's a lot of tabs that need to line up just right, and it can be a bit of a hassle to get there. Also, it's kind of weird that he has brown tires. Maybe he just hasn't been to a car wash in a while. Looking at their Beast partners, you could have gone these guys single packed, but they are given a different deco here. Rhinox looks solid enough, a good little robot rhino. He comes with Wheeljack or Pablo. Meanwhile, Cheetor, yeah, the gray here really kind of throws it off, but I really like the head sculpt of the cheetah for some reason, and he actually has articulation, ball joints in the front feet, ball joints in the legs and hips. It really does better than Rhinox in terms of being an animal figure. They come packed with Arcee, and I think it's a good enough duo. But now, why don't we actually check out robot mode? Getting these two in robot mode, and they look absolutely incredible, but they both have pretty major issues I want to talk about right now. I don't think it's going to end up breaking your figures, but it's something you should know. So, when you transform Wheeljack, here's the front of the van mode. It goes over the front of his robot mode. To get that unstuck, I needed a parts sponger. Same thing with Arcee's wheels. To transform her into robot mode, this has to separate. This is the back wheel. It refused to separate, so I had to use a parts sponger. If you don't know what a parts sponger is, it's essentially a thin piece of metal that you use to wedge into transformer pieces and force them out. You could use, say, the tip of a pen to do this. You could use a toothpick to do it. But the fact that you had to pop pieces off the figure just to make a transformation joint work is not great. I'm going to assume that it's just paint stuck. Arcee specifically comes in vehicle mode, making me really think that it is paint stuck, and it's just a reality of when you have her in that mode for too long. Just be aware of that issue. Looking at Arcee though, I don't mind saying this is the best looking Rise the Beast transforming Arcee I've seen. It's better than the Studio Series, it's better than that one that had the power armor. I love the proportions here, it captures her design perfectly. In terms of articulation, you have a ball joint at the head, a ball joint at the shoulder, you have a ball joint at the elbow, you have a swivel at the wrist, nothing in the waist, but you have a ball joint at the hip, a good double joint knee if you want to use the transformation joint, and nothing in the foot. But you do have massive heel spurs, ensuring that Arcee can keep most poses you put her in. It's incredible. This is a really solid Arcee, especially one that's going for 15 bucks. Very, very, very solid. Bringing in Cheetor, we can give Arcee a weapon. You see, first you pull up the scruff of Cheetor's neck, and then you fold back the tail, making this big bladed weapon. In terms of the legs, there's not really a place for them. I just kind of fold them around each other like this. Just make it to where it's one long weapon. We can fold the toes in to make it a little bit more secure. And then, boom, we'll put it in Arcee's arm. And it is a massive, massive blade. It actually kind of reminds me of the sword that Megatron had in Transformers Prime. I actually really like how it looks. Don't get me wrong, that's definitely just a folded up cat on her arm, but what can I say? Arm blades are cool. Looking at Pablo next, I think that the Studio Series one does look better, but I think this is a better playing figure. You have a really nice head sculpt, looks very solid, ball joint at the shoulder as well as a hinge, so you get a lot of our movement there. Ball joint at the elbow, nothing in the wrist, but you do have a waist swivel, ball joint in the hip, a good ball joint down here in the knee, and then you get nothing in the foot, but again, his feet are so big, you can get him into a pretty wild pose, and he'll be just okay. Wait a minute, I forgot, you actually have backward hinge if you untab from transformation. So if you're willing to play with transformation joints, he does actually have a good little pivot to him. Bringing Rhinox in, we're just going to take a look at the backside of Rhinox and split him open to make a Gatling gun. So I think this is funny for two reasons. One, there's literally an episode of Beast Wars that ends with Rhinox farting on the Predacons, and it, is preceded with Megatron just saying, "Oh no." Alongside that, Rhinox's guns in Beast Wars were chain guns. So now, not only are you weaponizing his backside, you're making him into a chain gun. I really wish he could have held it underslung, but instead, we can get it here in his forearm. Can we? I said we could, but the legs are kind of getting in the way. No, we can. So there we go. I don't think Rhinox is as good looking a weapon as Cheetor, but he is a lot more fun. He's a better transformation, and I do like the idea that he's a Gatling gun, so take what you will. I don't think that Pablo and Rhinox are worse than Arcee and Cheetor, I just think they have different strengths. I do prefer Arcee as a whole, but Pablo and Rhinox are still really, really solid. I have Studio Series Arcee and Pablo. I know what the A-Team did when they made these figures. These were done by the LA design team, the B team, the team that I'm constantly praising in my Earthspark and Transformers 1 videos. Here, it's exactly the same. Are they as impressive? Were they given as much budget? No. But I think they are more unique and more interesting Transformer experiences overall. I'm always going to be singing the praises of that LA design team. They gave us an incredible Arcee and Wheeljack here, two incredibly fun figures, both going for less than a mainline deluxe that come with good pack-in accessories. I would recommend either one of them. I personally think Arcee is the better figure, but I think a lot of people would probably be more taken with Pablo and his proportions. In either case, you're going to be getting a fun and unique Transformer.